All right, good morning, everyone. We are out to take a little spin around in the museum's 1929 President 7-passenger sedan model
FE,
which refers to the longer wheelbase available at the time.
There were two presidents offered in 29. The FE was the longer, I believe it was 135-inch wheelbase, and that had the 7-passenger sedan, the touring car, handful of other body styles. A shorter FH wheelbase was used for the 5-passenger sedan, and I believe the Roadster as well.
All right, well, why don't we take it out for a spin? So what else can you tell us about the cars Studebaker was building in 1929?
The President was the top of the line, followed by the Commander, the Dictator, and finishing off with the Studebaker 6. I'm sorry, the Studebaker 6 was not... I think I double-checked that, but they also had the Erskine, which transitioned into the Studebaker 6 midway through the 1929-1930 model year. Studebaker wasn't really into model years so much at this time. In fact, they proudly promoted that they just made changes as changes needed to be made. So you had some models that stayed in production for a shorter amount of time, and others that stayed in past the traditional model year designations. But generally, the FE/FH models are considered 1929 models.
Now, was this the biggest Studebaker, size-wise, as I said, or at the beginning? It's a 7-passenger, so if you look back here, we got some jump seats. Where's 7 at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3 in the back.
Oh, you fit 3 in the back without the armrest.
Yes.
Gotcha. Was this the biggest car Studebaker was selling at the time?
It was. This was the biggest, and this is the top-of-the-line model. You could get... the regular models had a rear-mounted spare, and this one, I believe, was the Regal equivalent. You got the dual side mounts and an option for a trunk on the back, too.
Very nice. Did Studebaker sell a lot of these?
They were pretty popular. Well, they were much more popular before October of 29, but yeah,
true.
Studebaker was going pretty good at this time. They'd picked up Pierce Arrow in 1928. They tried to go more down market with the separate Erskine brand, introduced in 1927. So if you look at the Studebaker model line, they were kind of poised to be a mini General Motors at this time. They were even really ramping up their commercial vehicle products during that period as well.
All right. Now, can you tell us about all these different knobs on your steering wheel there? A few more than we have today, maybe.
I don't know. I got steering wheel controls on my Volkswagen.
True.
You've got headlights, spark advance, and there's also a hand throttle on there as well. And these are always real fun for restorers because there's basically shafts that go down inside the steering, and they hook to these little levers. It's kind of a Rube Goldberg method of controlling things, but I guess it worked well enough when the cars were new.
Fair enough. Anything else you can tell us about cars from 1929 that we should know about?
We are powered by 337 cubic inches of Studebaker straight 8 goodness here. I believe this put out 109 horsepower during 1929, and that may not sound like a lot today, but you got to consider a Model A Ford had 40 horsepower. So this was a pretty powerful car back in its day, and Studebaker, this is the same engine the Studebaker based their Indianapolis race cars off of.
Very cool. Very cool. And this is a newer...
Yeah, we just took this in within the last, I want to say, year and a half or so. A gentleman from California. Thank you, Mr. Claude Raffin, for donating this lovely vehicle to the museum.
And we actually just had this car out. The reason we have it out to take you guys on this ride is we had it out at the Concours d'Elegance of America this past weekend. So if you didn't catch us there, we'll be back up in the Detroit area for Eyes on Design in September, I believe.
Though not with this car.
Though not with this car, that is correct.
Something else.
With something else. But if you want to see our shining faces, maybe head up towards that show. So enjoy the rest of the ride as we finish around the block, and we hope you tune in next time.